Welcome again, everybody. And today we're diving into 23rd Gene Key, the key of simplicity and the key of complexity in the shadow. To say a little bit more in the beginning about the whole theme of the key is in a human design, it's in the throat chakra. So it's about how we speak. And it's about how we speak and how we create and manifest our life. Is it from complexity or simplicity, or the CD is quintessence? And just a reminder that the shadow is the lower frequency. Always the gift is the middle frequency, the heart, basically, where we share our gifts when we're not anymore in a separation or in any feeling of loss, when we have this energy and we share it with the world. And the CD is a transpersonal quality that is like transparent. It's our divine nature. And every key has shadow gift in CD. So with this one, the 23rd, the complexity, we're gonna now discover what the complexity is and how it works. So as I said, it starts with how we speak. It starts with how we speak. It starts with how we think. And this key is in a codon ring. Codon ring are the groups of the keys that are activated by certain amino acid in our system. So biologically, these groups of key are connected, and also on an energetic level, they have the one theme. And this key is in a codon ring of life and death. That means it's about transformations. It's about how we go through transmutations. It's about how we live our life. It's about how we surrender to death in a way of the transformation or mutation. And doesn't need to be physical death, but also the spiritual process also. And if we will look into this key, it's in the shadow of complexity. Basically, our life will be just always complicated. We will have so many also chaos around us in a way. We will be not able to organize our life. We will try to solve the problems that not even problems, or that just our minds created. And we will see is when we move to higher frequency that a lot of the problems was just the fantasies of our mind that we created, because sometimes the mind enjoys to kind of solve complex tasks, because it thinks that, oh, good, I'm like this, the more kind of I solve problems, then I'm better. But in a way, it's also the shadow, and it affects how we kind of perceive the reality. And if, like, let's say if we're in this shadow, let's say we need to, for example, solve some situation. And there are like different ways. But if we're in the shadow, we will choose the most difficult, the most complicated, like the most strange path, because this is what we will energetically align with. And there's going to be another path that is very simple, that requires less efforts, less energy, less time, but for us, it will even like not exist. And what this shadow is bringing complexity in our relationship. It brings separation. It brings questions of trust. It makes us not trust one another. It makes us being very stuck in our mind and don't know how to express ourselves. Basically, also the shadow, it always has two levels. Reactive, when we react on this energy. The shadow, it's a frequency inside us. It's some feelings, some sensations, some emotions. this some also thoughts then connect some mental structures. And when we are in the shadow, then we have these emotions, then we have these ideas, like what is it? And then we always kind of recreating it. And on this shadow level, on shadow level, the person will afraid of like shadows itself, will afraid of fears, and will try to avoid and run away from them. That in fact will make them even more real and will eventually create in his life, in this person's life, what he afraid of or what he tries to avoid. Also, just little suggestions is now it's more of us. Maybe we can serve to one another. You can serve to her. You serve to him. You to me. So then you don't need to do everything yourself.
I don't mind.
Okay.
So like 17.
Okay. 23.
And why was this one picked?
Because this is now in a collective field. So we work with a key that is in the field.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
And is that what Richard says, or where does that come from?
There is a mandala of keys of how
Yeah.
the energy is moving, the sun is moving, and every kind of 6 days there is a new key that is coming. And in this group, we are discussing like the key of the week.
Yeah.
And also, so as you've been a bit later, you need something what I was sharing that we have this structure that first I share transmission, then we have some space for questions, contemplations, and sharings about how do we feel about this, how we see things in your life. Then we have another transmission and sharings. So as you missed just saying that it's 23 Gene Key because it's a collective key right now. So it doesn't matter if you have it or not. Also, how it should run is all the same. In fact, we have all the keys. So yes, you have your personal chart that you can work on, but you have all the keys, and especially when the sun moves, it's kind of, and the sun gives us 70% of the energy, like the imprinting, so we feel it. And yeah, so now we are in a shadow of complexity, and also as well in a shadow of connect with your feelings with so that we are discussing the kind of connecting this field. So we can feel also how this feeling. The more we will move to higher frequency, the more it will feel lighter, and then the energy moves. Then Martin also hears this process, and we will have a beautiful process. So complexity. As I said, there are two ways of shadow. Reactive, that means when we react on the sensation, we have some discomfort and we react. Normally, it's like any kind of aggressive tendencies. Or repressive is when we repress the feelings. So we repress the shadow, we stuck in it, and we even don't know about it. And the repressive nature of the 23rd Gene Key is somebody who basically can't speak, can't express himself or herself. This person is understood our mind, the need to speak, or the need to express ourselves. And then whenever we do it not in the right time, and we say not the right words. We want to express something, but we can't find the way. And then we can speak even more because we think that we need to sell better as people understand us. And then we try to create absolute like misunderstanding. And this is what is the shadow. And also it's interesting how Richard Roth here, he explained this, that the person who is in the shadow, he has absolute belief that when he speaks to somebody, that this person kind of inside his mind, he see the reality exactly as this person, and he understand the people within his mind. Erin really believing that everybody understood, but in fact nobody does. And when this person who represents the shadow, for example, speaks with somebody else, it might give a feeling like this person speaks on you, like not speaks with you, not connect with you, no, there's not a dialogue. This person just kind of expressing himself on you, onto you. That leads to deep, we can't connect with others. The person is so stuck in his mental structure, his like mental paradigm, that, and it's such a deep fear, because what is lies underneath, because there's always fear that lies in the roots of the shadow. There is a deep fear of being misunderstood and being rejected. And this fear leads person to either don't speak at all, that's going to be repressive nature, because like I've tried several times, no, they don't understand me, like I get rejected, so I shut my voice and I don't want to speak itself. I don't want to like put myself out of the world. All the opposite is somebody who speaks too much and kind of aggressively puts himself in a world, thinking that the more he will speak, the better it will be, but in fact it creates less connection, and it creates this disharmony. And what's the solution then? It's first also to face this fear of being rejected. Also, it comes to conditioning we receive from parents. Like if we had repressive parents who were repressing ourselves, who were not giving us space to feel, and then of course we will have tendency more to close our voice. So then we won't be able to connect with our feelings, because of course, first of all, it starts complexity myself. Like I can't just say what I feel, and then because I can't be authentic and vulnerable and honest, then I create a lot of mind structure, because I believe that if I will just say a lot, I will be met. But life is showing that not, and the person gets more and more his wound kind of being triggered, and then he either gets angry or just shut down himself. And with the shadow, there is always a way of that requires patience. That means that one of the suggestions with Richard Roth, there were like 4 kind of principles of the Jinki. One of them is patience, that when I work with a shadow, I gave myself that much time that needed to transmute this energy, to feel it, and to let it in. I don't try to fight with the shadow. I'm not saying that it's wrong, that it's like bad. I'm not trying to get rid of it. I'm not saying that anything in me is bad or wrong. I just give it space. I give myself space. I create this space for this safe container for myself, where I can just feel it. And through that, through the feelings, I will see then how at some point, in fact, the shadows transmute itself. The process how a shadow moves to give, it's happened like boom, like a click, and the energy transmutes itself. Oh, it's hot here with this boiling water. Yes, and share anything about this one?
The key.
Tea.
The tea. Key. This is a Black Needle Pagoda. It's a red tea. For me, it's a very pleasant tea. Like when you drink it, feel it, and for me, it's something in the heart. I also pass around this oil. It's Egyptian musk. I was just in Egypt, so I'm sort of sharing like drops of my experience there. It's a very good oil. And, I felt it fit the weather today. Rainy,
Yeah.
really. This
And while we're trying this oil, thanks Martin, let's just a little bit more explain the complexity. When we're in the shadow, I said we're like in a bubble of our mental construction that we so much want to be met and to be understood, but whatever we do is just find more disconnection. And then we kind of, I said, we can try more, we can like give up and whatever, that's okay. Just go on. And because it has a certain way how it's, what it's doing, I would say, on the brain level, that makes us being in a way blind, like live kind of in some illusion. And the program partner of 2013 key is 43. The program partner is the key, there is his pair, like a key and a lock, they absolutely complement each other and create a pair. And the 43 is deafness, shadow of deafness. Deafness means I deaf to myself. I don't hear. There's so much noises going on in my head and around me that I just can't hear myself. I can't hear my heart. I can't hear my feelings. I'm disconnected. And then the deafness leads to complicity. And the 43, the program partners, leads us to breakthrough in a gift and CD. It turns the energy within where we break through these noises and through everything, and when we truly start to listen. And on a higher frequency, the deafness becomes a mechanism, in fact, that helps us because it becomes a filter to the outside world when we kind of don't receive anymore what disconnects us from our soul. Because on the shadow level, we will be so lost, then we kind of hear everybody and we don't know what we really feel, what we really want. We can have all these sort of ideas, teachers, suggestions, and everything in our mind, but we don't know who really are, basically. And one of the interesting way how Richard Rudd also explained with this key is that he said this key is meant to create your own life, to make you create your life. For this, you need a discipline, and there is so less people. There's so small amount of people who are really creators because mostly we're just dealing with circumstances. But this key has a power within to create your life. But for this, first you need to listen to yourself, then have structure and discipline to make things happen. Because the 23 key, and in human design also, it's a key of effectivity. It's this energy that on a higher frequency, it knows exact ways how to organize an energy and resources and money. So we don't lose, but we always find the most effective way. And like how instead of 10 steps, I can do 5, receive the same results, maybe even better, and have save like this energy, how I can invest, how I can make things work more effectively. But yeah, on a shadow level, it's not effectively, it's just complexity. And I feel like, yeah, I would love now to open the space for sharing some questions, if you have any about this theme, about the shadow. Anything was arising in you, or you notice it in your life, how it works in your mind?
Like it's very prevalent in my life right now. I felt that with this recent full moon, it's been like very I've just been doing so much, and now I'm like, actually, I'm doing the thing where I've like now had to completely separate myself from everything and find my own space, silence. But yeah, I've felt this for a long time now, actually, but especially right now. Yeah.
So you are in time here. For
So-
this, you are in time here, Senator.
Yeah, I'm curious, what astrological sign does this correspond to? Taurus.
I just, yeah, so because it's the sun. So the keys connect with the sun, and the sun now in like Taurus. Not so much in astrology, but yes, it is.
Yeah.
In the West.
It's just in Scorpio, the right.
The full moon was a Scorpio,
Yeah.
but
Which is
So the-
opposite.
Yeah, so it'd be the
Strong.
Scorpio Taurus axis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very strong.
I feel like that makes a lot of sense. So I feel like this is kind of scorpionic themes. I yeah, you're having that.
this is just now.
Yeah.
Yes, now.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
yeah, I definitely feel it. I feel like I'm in the easeful mode. Like I've been in complexity and I'm really seeing like how do I make everything in life peaceful? You know, like choosing, like I actually, yeah, now I think about it, like someone sent me something today about just like things going on in Australia and like how complex things are getting and like, and I was like, sure, you can take that avenue or you can take a different avenue, you know, you have a choice. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm trying to see how I can constantly be in, like, not love and light, but genuinely, I feel like you have a choice to make things complex or easy.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. As it just a reminder that the Jinki is a teaching of showing us how we create outside from the inside. So, for example, if I'm in the shadow of complexity, I will always attract it, and
Yeah.
everything will be complex. Like all the solutions, like kind of, I need to buy ticket, for example. If there's no right tickets or like some very complex way of travel and everything, then if I tune to right frequency, then boom, and like the easiest way is appearing
Yeah,
kind of out of
That's
nowhere.
really interesting because yesterday when it was all like super complicated in my life, I had so many people reaching out to me, like just random people I hadn't heard from in ages as well. But yeah, I found the part of you sharing like the suppression and like the expression, because this is what's been happening with like in my relationship, is it's been like a month or two of like my partner, what has felt like my partner really speaking over me and just saying like what I have to share isn't, you know, worth sharing, that I shouldn't speak. And in that I've literally been having a cough now. I've had like a lump in my throat. I've been like struggling to breathe, and I feel like it's this like bigger manifestation of like this imbalance
Mhm.
and this suppression. Yeah.
And it's as always just these kind of invitations to look deeper of how basically I created, and then we can even go deeper of what programs, beliefs I have, and this is another topic of subconsciousness and programming. But the more we can see it with discomfort and let us feel it and come into presence with it, the more the energy will transmute itself. Yes, and yeah, do you want to say something? Mhm. Okay.
Would you like me to share something? Or I don't need to.
No, only if you want the decision. Okay. Martin?
Yeah, sure. This is a new tea, so oh, it feels very familiar. This key. I think for me, it's like the complexity of my thinking are my big afflictions. And it's like it can be a blessing, but it also can be a curse. You know, I think if my thinking is directed in like for one purpose in one direction, it's amazing to have this ability to analyze and think everything through. But in yeah, like often like I think so much about so many things that it actually it sucks the energy out of me, and I actually lose the ability to execute, like to actually do it physically, because my mind is running on overdrive. I think I shared with you before when I was in the dark retreat, like 7 days in darkness, and it was interesting. Like I have like I really enjoy like meditation retreats or like simplicity. Like if you're sailing, you're on the ocean, or you're walking in the mountain, or you're in a Vipassana retreat, like life becomes so simple in a way, and that's really where I find the highest amount of peace and happiness. But in this particular experience, like the dark retreat, I wasn't for some reason not able to get into my meditation, and my mind was just running on overdrive. I don't know why, but I just let it rip for 4 days, and for 4 days I was just thinking until I basically exhausted my mind, and only then did I have like you know, the experience I came for. But yeah, like the mind is even though I meditate and everything is like, I think what's changed is that I can still like right now, and of course the keys are always on point, right? I've gone from, let's say, a period of like closing down a lot of things, kind of clearing the space again, and all of a sudden now my field is like full of, let's say, choices, right? And that's like complexity. So I'm thinking about should I do this, should I do that, you know, blah 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 blah. A lot of complexity. But I think I've managed to disconnect there's no expectation to outcome anymore. So I can still see my mind as like, I really like to, you know, think everything through, analyze, blah blah blah. But I disconnect from it a little bit emotionally, even if I'm not able to fully sort of stop the.
Some new tea.
Yeah, let's taste.
Normally you have this little thinking, because you don't know, we just have a moment with a new tea of silence and connection and drinking slowly. I love how Richard Rock's sharing that the most like clever people are normally the most complex, because they're just so in their minds that the mind can think and analyze everything very good, but you just know in the presence, you know, in your body, you can't really even then connect with others, and then the relationship was really struggles. And reminded me honestly while I was preparing today for this key of my teacher of when I was in university, we have a teacher of some kind of high mathematics. Get the subject was like advanced mathematics, and he was a genius himself. He was like this old professor, you know, who was like, he's writing down all the formulas and he's explaining to us, and he's so excited. Nobody understands him. Well, only one guy who was also like crazy, like you see he had this like crazy ability to understand, and they've been always like the best friends. All of the group, we've been like, and we just don't understand. Like, and then all the groups who he was teaching for, like, then we've been kind of in a way sharing, complaining that we just don't understand. And he get a little bit offended because he wants to explain in his heart. He loves this subject so much. He wants to share. He wants people to understand. And for him, it's so easy. He had like explained these all advanced things. And for him, it's so easy. He believes, like as I said, the person sitting like the fishes, like he don't understand why we don't get it, because for him it's obvious, and yeah, there was basically no way. We never kind of understood him. And he tried, obviously he tried his best. Then we've tried to find a way to translate him into human language, but it was hard. And it's not like, I would say, not his fault in a way but this is what the presentation of the shadow. You can be a genius of something, but if you don't find a simple way, then nobody can understand your genius, and you can be offended thinking, oh, like kind of feel rejected or hurt, but it's just because there is no simplicity in it, and then there is no way like to really get it. Yes, so I just want to ask if anybody else want to share something, or we again close space for moving forward.
I feel like I resonated with that piece about like nerdy people, like, and how they do like almost compromise like connection and relationship, like when they are overactive in their minds. But it's, yeah, I've never thought of it in that way. Like I never thought that the cleverness and the mentalness would discredit the connection. So that was
I would say,
interesting. Yeah.
like that connected to me. I was like, oh, like you've lost the connection.
And in our modern days, especially, it can be just like also this obsession with spirituality and all these higher realms and everything that can also sometimes leads to a lack of connection. Like lack of connection on a human level is, I remember, in fact, in my previous relationship was a very big lesson for me about how to speak, because my ex-partner, he was from a like normal world, and like life magically connected us. And then sometimes I was finding all these like very like, mystical, interesting ways to explain something. And he was looking at me and he's like, you feel this, this, and this. I'm like, yes. Like, okay. And then he was teaching me how, instead of like all this crazy, like very complex way to express what I really want and what I really feel that can be said in one sentence, how to really do this. That felt for me in the beginning super uncomfortable, super vulnerable, super like stressful in a way, because I just don't, at the time I didn't used to this. I didn't used to kind of just say, I feel this and this, or like I need your help here, or like, oh, I didn't like this and this, and like just in a very normal way. But then when I learned this, I was like, oh, in fact, our life can be so much more simple. And then you don't need to spend all this time on this like long monologue when it can be said the really simple sentences. But for this, I need to be again connected with my feelings and again then heal these wounds about like, oh, if I speak, I won't be mad. And other dynamics that subconsciously are playing out or will play out. Yeah. Okay. So if nobody want to share, is you still okay.
It's kind of this key by show. Yeah, like I read, or like I think it's in my human design, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not my gene keys, but like in the sibling human design is in my chart. But definitely I've on this spiritual journey, I've been like a lot of my encounters have been like how to overcome actually this kind of wound of like separation from everything, because I have a little bit of a mind that wanders. I have like wandering mind, whatever you want to call it. And my guru or one of my teachers kind of like this to me, like I have maybe blocks here and things like this. These are now unblocked, but still the residue of like having these hurdles and maybe some things still in the from the mental level, but still there. And yeah, like just trying to find the words to say the right thing. That can be too much for someone whose mind is like very bigger than it should be. You know, like this, like the real dilemma of like a nerd or like a genius or like somebody who's who's been kind of gifted in a way, but at the same time cursed because you have a gift, but how do you use your gift? This is it's the art. So yeah, that's came through.
Thank you for sharing. And on this note, we go into not CD, the gift, the middle frequency. Did you want to say something? No? Okay. So yeah, the gift, the simplicity. But before, I also want to mention something that it's not about when we communicate. It's not about also finding the right words, because we communicate basically through frequencies, through hologenetic energetic field. So what we perceive and how we hear each other, in fact, is even not by words. When the words, the word can be when we can literally hear to one, like myself and one another, we can find the right words that will find their alignment. But through kind of hearing, I've been once here in Bali on some workshop about singing and about the voice activation and everything. And the teacher, she said at the time, before you can sing, before you can open your voice, you need to learn how to listen. The singing starts with listening. And this is true because if I don't listen, if I can't hear myself, if I can't hear the tones, if I can't hear, for example, the music, if I can't hear the environment, that means I disconnected from everything. But in fact, to be able really to communicate in a way that the others will perceive us and exactly what we want to say is through listening. And listening starts with, first of all, being present in my body, feeling how I feel, and being open with others. Because, as I said, in a way, we're communicating with their energy fields. And when somebody is grounded in the heart and speaks kind of from the heart of this transmission of energy, then the others will even understand beyond the mind, beyond the words. Because when we try to use the words that was happening in shadow to explain, then in fact it's kind of creates a level on the level on the level on the level, and then it just becomes more complex. Then the essence of what you really, for example, want to share is completely lost. And this key, in a way, that quintessence, the seed, it's about the essence. It's about the this exact frequency, this exact word, this exact feeling that kind of when it's refined and it's has all the meaning in it that can be expressed, and through this you can really share in any ways. It can be just to speak with your friends or with your partner or your work or knowledge or anything in your art. Also, one of the beautiful and most important way of transmuting this shadow is through the hands. And
Yes.
this
Precisely.
and this is the art that kind of lost in a way in the age of transfer, like information and acquirers age. But when we connect with the hands, we go through our mind to sponge to presence. And if you feel overwhelmed in your mind, if you feel in the complexity, you need to just do something with your hands. And it can be anything. It can be, of course, something creative like art, music, drawing, whatever. But it can be something like cooking or cleaning the dishes or doing something around the house that makes you come into present moment. And it, when the energy moves through hands, it's activate a different way of sensations and connections with brain that bring in us more into presence. Of course, if we'll not try, modern ages, we're cooking, then we like listening to some podcasts, and we're doing something else, and then we're not present with what we're doing. But this is a kind of not original way. Like we should be really present. Maybe that's why yesterday we saw like super brunch.
It's true, no? Like coping mechanisms and it's helpful.
Yeah. So, and in fact, yeah, the complexity equal anxiety. This was the shadows. Complexity is anxiety. And then you want to like remove this anxiety, and then you like go more and more in your mind. Or like, scrolling the Instagram, like doing something that you need, in fact, in this moment to stop and like dance, or I don't know, walk in nature, or connect with trees, or just do the tea ceremony. Also, you connect with hands. Anything basically that will bring the awareness to the hands, and how you can connect with life through the hands. So this is the way of transmuting this shadow of complexity. Because in a way, when we're really doing something with the hands, it's simple. Like we just bring our awareness here, and it slowly like comes down the mind, and then in fact through these, like the insights are coming, all the answers and insights can come in this gap, in the moment of not thinking, when we're just in presence. Because when we're in complexity, we think, I need to think more to find a solution, when in fact by this we are further away from solution. But when we stop and we just simply present, then the solutions comes itself. That everything the genius is creating through these gaps of non-thinking, where we just receive opportunity, receive transmissions.
This is an aged Thich Van Yin, Chinese tea. Van Yin is the goddess of mercy and the goddess of tea. Enjoy.
I also love how Richard Roth says that if you want to transmute this energy, if you want to activate the quintessence, if you want to be enlightened, just choose a relationship and work in them, work on them, through them, on every level of your shadow, and all the discomfort and everything that's coming. Because the shadow will want you to run away. The shadow will want you to project the pain from inside outside, and then find a reason why you have to run away. And especially this shadow, as I said, it creates separation, and it says we can't trust one another. That's why we need to separate, because it's too complex, or like whatever other reasons. This is how shadow is working. And I Ching, the ancient Chinese system, where was explained the 64 hexagrams of the energy of the universe. And this hexagram is called splitting apart. And we will see on a CD level how this, in fact, brings us towards the liberation. But on a shadow level, it brings us literally to disconnection with our heart, disconnection with others. And then we're not able to love and to receive love. We can't trust, and we just create more and more separation. But as I said, do something with your hands, ground back in your body, and listen before you speak. If you wanna share something first, really listen to another person. Listen with all your being, not just with your mind, but when you listening, just try to fully be with somebody, not trying to understand, or not thinking about, oh, what I will say, like kind of when this person finished, but just fully be present. Because when you fully present, and simplicity, in fact, is just a presence. It's simplicity is a lost art of love that said that to love one another is just to simply be present. We don't need all this complexity of how to communicate and all these things. We just need to be present. Because when we're present, this is what gives us healing. Because when we're present, we start to really listen. And through this, we start to understand what is what your mind can never see. Because we're not focused on the words so much. We kind of give space to the whole system of another person, for example. And by this, what happens, the system of this person starts to relax because it feels that there is a presence. And then in the presence, I can relax. I don't need to defend myself because nobody's kind of attacking me. And then also when we listen, we coming back into presence. So we also start to relax. And also then through that, we can connect with our own feelings deeper and go from our mind to the body. And through that, the communications comes onto absolutely another level. Because the shadow is like, Richard Rudd said something very funny, verbal diarrhea. It's like one of the ways for this complexity is but you just can't stop and you just like have this verbal diarrhea onto somebody. It's fine. You can just move it like this. You can have it's fine. Yeah, and on numbness. But in simplicity, I don't need to attack another person with my words. I don't need to hide also. We can just be simply present. That is, in a way, hardest thing to do. But this is where everything starts awesome because truly we can hear each other on this presence. This is where the emotions can be transmuted. This is where, like, by being present, we simply give space to love. And then the love is what moves energy and activates some transmutation in a way. And like in a way, we have to learn this new way, like it was old way was forgotten because now we think I need to use my mind more. But in a way, no, we need to use it less. We need to be more present with ourselves and with each other. That will help us to find the solutions, the simple solutions when you're like, oh, in fact, it's so simple and it was always here. I was just so blind because I just didn't see it at all. And I can even say a story in my life, not about relationship, about something else. For a couple of years, how I've been in Bali. I lived in Bali for 5 years, even more right now. And for a couple of years, I was in this process of how I moved to work with English-speaking audience because I mostly was working with Russian speaking audience and mostly online because I'm originally from Russia. But at some point, my soul told me, okay, now you need to work and move more to English speaking audience. And I was like, okay, but then how I do this? Of course, I had some connections and like people, and here and there slowly was something happening. Then I was like, okay, I need to create new Instagram. I need to do all this and this. And in my mind, there was always something I need to do in a way. The funniest way that how it started to happen when last September, spontaneously in a way, we started to do this transmissions with Martin. And I worked before we worked before for his personally, but kind of never came this idea of doing something together until the one moment when it's kind of appeared from nowhere. And then when we started to do this, and then the people start to come on personal sessions, and like the energy started to flow differently. And I realized like, wow, in fact, the solution was so simple and it was always here, but I was just blind to see it because my mind was on another direction according to this topic of thinking needs to be some complex solution. But in fact, the solution was very easy. And then I was like doing other things in Chingu, like feminine practices. So and then it's the whole way, just the life showed that in fact the simple way was always here. That's just, I was looking in another, that's how complexity works. The door is open, but you're like, where is the door? I don't see, where is the door? Maybe I need to break the wall to make a door. No, you just need to stop. You just need to like kind of, for me, this solution came when I dropped everything. Where I was like, I'm just gonna be right now. I don't care anymore. I'm just simple, gonna be, have my life, and that's it. And then it's like, oh, the door. It was always here. So this is a way of how this simplicity works. It's showing a solution that the most simple and was always here in front of our eyes, but we were just busy looking in the other directions. And then in the gift of simplicity, we just, simply start to understand each other. And we make, we naturally then have this tendency to make our own life more simple. When this gift activates in our life, not the ghee oil, the gift, then, for example, I feel an energy, oh, I have too much clothes, I don't need all of them. I want to reorganize something. And I wanted to reorganize my life. I want to make more space. Because this simplicity is what is spaciousness. And in this spaciousness, kind of the energy can move, the air can move, the flow can move, because if it's everything like this, there is no space. And then this energy, like it makes this space in our mind, and where we have more and more gaps of thinking and just simply being, when our mind is not so much involved in like all this craziness. Then the more we have these gaps in our thinking and more just being and connected with ourselves, we creating more spaciousness in our life. And then realizing that there is absolutely another way how to deal with time. If before we thought, oh, I don't have time in my life for everything I need, the more we come into the gift, we see that in fact I have so much time, and I kind of did everything I need, and I still have time because we're not wasting energy on thinking of trying to find the complex solutions. We see that either way we act, we become masters of managing the energy and find, as I said, the most efficient way. The person who represents this gift is a person who knows best of all how to deal with money. Maybe it's not how to earn them, but definitely how to organize. The person of this gift is a person that not wasting anything. Like not wasting time, not wasting energy, not wasting resources, not wasting money. He just knows exactly what and how much he needs. In the shadow, it's always like too much or too little. It's like if it's too much water, my system will bloat it. My lymphatic system will be not able to process it. If it's too less water, I will feel stress and doing this. So kind of this key is about balance. How you can find a balance when it's not too much and not too little, but exactly how your system is, exactly what you need. And exactly in this moment. And when you listen to yourself into the simplicity, you know when you need to go to sleep or when you need to start the day or how much food you need today. And you just like, with your body. If today your body says, well, I want to fast today, then you fast. And if the next day you feel like you need more food, you just listen basically to yourself. This is what simplicity. And through this, you don't overcomplicate your life. And in a way, then you don't really need then so much like suggestions because you just connect with yourself. And through this, you connect with God and you listen. And then your relationships also, your friendships, everything is just benefiting because in your work, you're able to direct a simple, exact message that people feel and they connect with this and they're like, oh yeah, this is what I need. Or like if you organize something, then you know exactly how to organize everything and create the right structure. In your relationship, there is the love is blossoming because there is a spacious space for you. We will make space, and it's even if we wanna something happen in our life, we need to make space for it. Like just remember now something long time ago. I was learning about like manifestations, and I remember in one book it was a story of a woman who like was manifesting a relationship and like a new partner, but she was manifesting and doing all this like imagination and all this right exercising, but nothing was happening. And then at some point she just realized that, well, yeah, she's kind of in her mind, she's creating all this, but in her life, she's not giving space for it. So then what she did, she organized her wardrobe in a way that there was a space for a clothes of the man. And then she like bring more pillows. And then she organized like her space in her villa or wherever it was. So it would be space there for somebody else. And then like after some time she met a man and everything as well. This is just a story in a way that if we want something in our life, we need to make space for it. Because the energy can't come like this. If we want something, we need to empty something. Then how we can invite, and then the energy will flow because there is space for it. This is what the key is the master about. It's the master to create a space for something and kind of the master of effective management and effective communication. Yes, I feel it's time we can open another space for your questions and sharings. From the floor right now. Tea.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I have much to say, just like, yeah, resonates. Just like, yeah, I feel it. And also it feels present for, yeah, what I'm trying to create in my life right now. Sure.
Thank you.
I think it's like nice to just hear it in like a conversation like this and kind of like set it in again. It's like another reminder.
Contain for.
Yeah.
We can deeply like ground it.
Yeah.
I found it interesting, you know, the part you shared about the, I forget whose quote it is, but about if you want to get to the bottom of something, to stay in partnership. because this is something that I've felt for a long time, and I've been like leaning in and leaning in and leaning in to the partnership. But there's almost like a point now where the same problems, like it keeps coming back around, back around, back around, that I almost feel like it's just choosing complexity. If I keep choosing something that like, it almost feels like the universe now has given so many signs for like to just leave it and to create room for something fresh. And I guess it's like really having to listen deeply on what's right, but there's still a level of confusion in my being because I feel like, yeah, I had felt for so long by leaning into doing the work and trying to show up as a better person, then this will reflect out. But I'm not sure if that's always like the truth. Sometimes it's like seeing things clearly and being honest, because as well that can be a bit of the complexity, is creating this like mental construct of like, no, this, you know, that it is like things could, you know, shift, and like holding on to something that's just not showing itself to be true, you know. But yeah, I was just like reflecting on that piece.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, relationship can be in a way complex topic, but also I feel doing your work for yourself, not for expecting that somebody will change. It's like the point of even a relationship. If I do your work, I do it in fact because, for example, I've noticed there is some pain in my system. There is something that in me. And if I not projecting, if I like stop basically the projection game and I really listen to what is within, this is normally the hardest part, because it's it's easy to see in somebody's. But then if I look within and I like do the inner work, and I know that this, my job is kind of to heal myself and to bring myself back to alignment, and then through this, either the connection naturally will drop because there will not be any more resonance, or the person will change. But it's not like for me to decide or for anybody. All I can do is in a way change myself, not for relationship, not for somebody else, not for expecting some like that the person will change, but by just acknowledging that there is something in me that is asking for transmutation, and I give space to this, and I'm grateful in a way. Yeah, this person is reflecting this. Like that's why this Richard Bravo says stay in relationship, because it means that you can't avoid kind of when you're in a relationship, you can't avoid your discomfort, you can't avoid your shadows. They're like always like in front of your face. So and then you have to face it. You can't run away, even if the tendency of the mind would be run away. But when we run inside, then we're like, okay, this and this and this. And then when we like fix it, not even fix it, we find and we transmute, then the energy changes.
What was the name of this one? Like the thing?
GQ.
Like this, we went from complexity and
Simplicity.
simplicity. What was the number again?
23.
20.
It's a legit one.
Can I ask, is this the theme for the coming week, or it's like the week that has been?
It started on Sunday. I think. Yeah, it started on Sunday, Saturday. So it's like we're kind of in the middle right now.
Thick things.
Yeah, interesting.
Share about the lines.
Thank you very much.
No, it's as in with the transits, it's 5 days or 6 days to swap over day. And like each day the line goes up, it ascends to like the 6th line where it's like the kind of climax of like the resolution and the climax. And,
So do we journey the things like? We journey
Not
the
really.
city?
We look in the hockey when he was saying about lines of that
another
it's a human design. It's not really important. The like coming to city in any day we don't need to wait for the last day like to come to higher frequency. We can do it in the first day.
Yeah.
And you can notice with some kids you feel more like in a city like straight away or like in a gift. And in some kids you like it's the end and you still feel like you somewhere on the bottom like what the fuck I don't understand it. So it's because it also reflects your personal journey.
Because it's also like, I guess if you transit in like kind of like every 6 days or whichever it is, you might feel like you're in the city in one, or like you're in the, what is it again? In one, and then the other one, you're like in the shadow. And that's also, if you're kind of connecting with them like week by week, you're also, it's giving you the chance to become aware of maybe where your shadow is.
Yeah, of course, that's the point. That's
Yeah,
why we're doing
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Because we're moving through themes. In fact,
Yeah.
there is bigger meaning. Might be a, but I don't know. Maybe I could do a workshop one day. But there is a deeper meaning of how this created. Yeah, and just to make know that here we're having our new tea right now. So we'll have a moment of silence and simplicity.
Yeah. Highlight every week the old puer. This is a early 2000s puer. It's a new one. We haven't had this before. It's from Adrian.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an old, well-aged shoe puer.
What do you want to say?
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, like for me, you can drop into a shadow like at any moment.
Exactly.
It's like if I choose to say something terrible now, I'm in a shadow automatically, unless the intention is like not shadow. But the lines, they are also playing out in a way. Like you're seeing different themes every day. You're seeing like something. A new escalation, a different build-up of something. So it means that we're always on transit. We're always going somewhere, dealing with something.
Right. Always changes.
We're always
The only thing is permanent is changes.
yeah, and that's what because yesterday was also I just wanted to bring it out to Buddhaji because it was Buddha Purnima, the day where Buddha himself was born, and I mean, one of his principles was that everything is transient. Life is, he called it, dukkha, he called it suffering. There's another way of saying that impermanence is everything, like the relativity.
Which Buddha?
Oh, it's
One Buddha.
Buddha, Gautam,
Yeah.
Siddhartha.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Bottom.
You say nice cardamom.
Nice cardamom. I have such an affinity with cardamom, like I love cardamom.
How do you
I
feel
also practice.
simplicity?
And simplicity. Well, that's what I was going on to, is that
Okay.
Buddha is a man, just simple man, right? He's not, he has like, could have been given the like rulership of a kingdom and everything, but he just said,
Yeah.
that's just gonna keep me, we're always in transits, we're always in transient times. Maybe nowadays a little bit more in your face, like we're in like Aquarius and age, or it's coming actually soon. So yeah, you either kind of like die with the chaos or you transcend the chaos, because it will. Good choice.
It's funny you said that because I took a photo of this like before the thing, and I just sent it to a friend. I was like, if it's not this, I don't want it. I just want this. So I'm like a manifestor as well. So
Yeah.
like I have like weirdly my life has had like complexity, but there's just like a deeper desire for that peace. Like peace is my driver.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, in fact, you remind me. I will share it later when I will speak again about how this key is connected with Buddhism and Buddha.
Doing something with the hands. That was just like it's a simple but like an obvious but powerful reminder.
Yeah.
So for me, that one is like
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah.
Which is like my creative art with my hands since I was a kid, and every morning when I wake up, my battle is like against my mind. My mind wants to do mind things, But the perfect morning is to actually get straight to meditation, then do some movement, and then cook myself breakfast, which will take me 3 to 4 hours if I do the full thing, and my mind will go, "Oh, I don't want to do all that today,"
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
when I do, it's amazing, and I come out and I actually have the energy to do mind things in a good way after, as opposed to like the phone and the coffee and out for breakfast, and you come home and you're just like,
Yeah.
so.
Exactly.
And I know there's something about like when it's said in the context of the key, it's like, that's what I have to do to get out of my mind. Do what I love to do with my hands.
And how for you the tea ceremony? Is also something with the hands.
Yeah, I mean it's meditative and contemplative, and I'm using my hands at the same time. So it's I was told many years ago by a woman, it was like a psychic, the first year I was in Bali, and she said like anything you do with your hands will be successful. So
Maybe you start
Oh.
also
You
carve something like Bermuda.
well, with the healing,
With
like,
the- yeah.
like, but like again, it's like my mind want to do mind things. It's taken a long time to sort of sit into.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I totally understand you. I have a handband that I touched maybe 5 times. Been like
It's really good one.
mhm, yeah, and they're always busy with other things.
I feel like that resonated for me, like regarding I found it really hard staying grounded in Bali, like just getting on the scooter, all the different things to do, like, I felt like stretched in Bali's energy, and like I'm a Vata person, so I'm like very like can get easily carried away with the wind. But yeah, realizing as well that a lot of my hobbies are like mental. Like I'm an astrologer, so I always am looking at like astrology and like analyzing and realizing that like I really need to harness more these like physical activities to balance myself right now. Yeah.
Or just go nature. It's so wonderful with all the waterfalls and everything.
Sorry.
The nature is there. And then it is 42 is the key of detachment. It's a key of learning to be detached, learning to live a life, not avoiding and not attaching, but definitely be in the middle. This middle path that the Buddha was always sharing. You need to find the middle path, like not too much and not too little, just exactly the middle way. And then it's this key, and their quintessence that also called this city calls the fever of Buddha, Buddha fever. Or we'll go here soon. So we have this innocence, presence, celebration. This is a 42. This is when we in a detachment, then we come into celebration, where it's like every moment is like death and rebirth again. Everything is in you always, because you're not stuck in your mind. Then it's silence, selflessness, and quintessence. And this is what the live and death, basically. This is what we're here to experience as being live in a human form. Not being stuck in complexity, but in fact activate this higher frequency